So today I saw a video about Trump possibly investigating the gold at Fort Knox. And it was such just another nonsensical post by so many people. And when I started thinking about this today, there's just so much stuff on YouTube that and the news that keeps people distracted about the lower hanging fruit. And I recently, I guess you can say, cracked the code, and I'm not talking about hacking anything or anything like that or illegal. It's a figure of speech. And I'm certainly not going to be dumb and post it on the internet like so many of these people do about how they've exploited the loopholes, being a vagabond and all this other stuff. It's like, how dumb are these people? But suffice to say, when you understand the power structure and how far back it goes, you begin to see everything on YouTube and the internet for that matter essentially as a waste of time. Now, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because there are some things on YouTube that, at least, I guess there's some entertainment, and there's a lot of do-it-yourself videos and other videos that are worthwhile watching to improve your lot in life, or especially your ability to be self-reliant. But a lot of the stuff, at least that I'm subscribed to, I'm either going to unsubscribe or I'm just going to start a new channel and start adding channels that are more in line with kind of where I'm going in my direction of life. But getting back to the point of the video here is that this goes back to ancient Sumeria, the Book of Enoch, the Anunnaki, the Watchers. They came here. Now there's a lot to this, so I may go tangential, forget to say certain things, but just stick with me for the context. And they needed to harvest and extract gold from the earth for their own planet. And they had a lower class, I believe it's called the IGI, something close to that. And they began to revolt due to the excessive manual labor. So they came across Homo erectus and thought that this would be the good choice to achieve what they were needing. But they didn't have the faculties to do the complex mathematics and reasoning and following, structure and orders and things of that nature. So they wound up splicing in their DNA to make them more intellectual so they can get the job done. Over time, they realized that they were difficult to control. And this led eventually to a feud between the brothers Enki and Enlil, or Einlil, who were the brothers who went to war, and the Enlil guy wanted to, well, he did create the flood to wipe out these people. And so, to my understanding, this was the Nephilim. And Enki advised one of the fellows, I'm not sure if it was Noah, if that was the exact name or not, but to build an ark, and that's where the ark came from. So, fast forward, this hybrid bloodline became ancient Egypt and the pharaohs, and then that became the black nobility, or the bloodline of the, I think it's the Genoese, and another bloodline out of Italy. I can't remember the name, but suffice to say, that is the black nobility, sort of the one now who is at the apex. And also at the apex is the intelligence agencies. Well, you also have the Committee of 300, who else is there? There's one other group that I'm not thinking of. Oh, Club of Rome. And then you also have the intelligence agencies, the MI6, the CIA, the Knights Templar of the past. And then behind them, or that's tier 1. And then tier 2, you have the Treasury. So tier 1 is the architects. Tier 2 is the Treasury. The people control the money. Because you can't control an agenda if you don't control the money. And those are the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the BIS, the BIS in Switzerland. They're at the apex. And then you have the IMF, the Federal Reserve. And these people are the ones who put the agenda into practical policies for the world to absorb. And then tier 3, you have the likes of the World Economic Forum, which is comprised of the people from BlackRock and Vanguard and Microsoft. You have the Committee of 300. And I'm sorry, not there. They were tier 1, the Trilateral Commission. And then, and this is not all inclusive. There's, a couple more, but to keep things rolling, tier 4, that's the UN and the WHO. And, these people put the policies down on paper and ascribe them to climate change, and kind of put things into motion to be rubber stamped by the politicians who are the lower tier of tier 4. And these people are nothing but actors, temporary actors on the stage that are shuffling in and out, and their role is to absorb the anger from the public. And yet people continue to vote, and they do exactly what the elite put them in position to do, absorb the anger. And if people see beyond that smokescreen, then who do they blame? They blame the people like, Gates and Musk and some of the billionaires and so forth. And they are simply not in any way royalty. They don't have the bloodline that the apex elite do. And it used to be rule by bloodline. That was kind of how it was previously. That's how you ruled. And And then that's sort of also, and then that kind of went into like all the kings. So they had some of the kings start ruling over these new Homo sapiens and so forth. Now, I don't want to get too far into that because there's a lot to it, but the point is, this goes so deep. And when people talk about revolting and, voting and voting this person out or these people out and these people in, and we got to come up with a plan, like, it's so far removed from reality. Like, what is coming is going to come. And also, I like to say that they've been trying to get rid of the hybrid Homo sapien that they created, which explains the jump from Homo erectus to Homo sapien. And they've tried over different civilizations and it really hasn't worked. Now they've, put into place laws and other things to start restricting these people that they've created and so forth. And now, and one of the things that I wondered was, why would, if population was a problem and they wanted to kind of get rid of like these people, why let the population get so big? It's kind of an interesting thought that I had. Well, the reason is because they created the internet and they got all these people like back on MySpace to answer these questions about them, and they got to understand how we think and our desires, and they can predict how we're going to react to things. And 8 billion people now on the internet searching and writing their thoughts, and they have bots out there and they're putting questions and they're arguing with people and they're getting more data. They don't need us anymore. Like they've gotten what they need through all of this internet and social media that they've created. And now it's time to get rid of us. I mean, there's no way that anyone, it defies logic that you're going to think they're going to keep all these billions of people on UBI when they're going into a new system and there's no jobs for these people, and we're moving into a completely different world. I mean, we're moving into transhumanism. So it's kind of sort of like this next evolution of our species or what they're trying to accomplish. But they're getting rid of a lot of people soon. And people better start waking up to this. But they're not. A lot of people are still fighting about trying to save the legacy system. Trying to fight for America. Like, what is America? What is America anymore? What are you fighting to save? Like, they're already unrolling the new system, and people are still living in the legacy system. And, big things are going to happen, I think, from now. I think T20, who knows, predictions are always wrong, but I think that, at least I think 2027 maybe something kind of big because just of numerology. 11's a master number. It represents new beginnings, just like the Day of the Towers. And you have 2035, which, if you look into the chart from Samuel Bennett, the farmer, he has predicted things pretty much to the T. All the big events like the dot-com bubble and the 2008 crisis and so forth. And he predicted the tops of the, in that chart also predicts the tops of the markets, the best time to sell, things of that nature. And 2035 is supposed to be the next time that we have something pretty big. So, if I were you, I would begin trying to work on self-preservation. And I would not waste your time listening to all of these YouTube videos, mainly about the people who are... that was not a strong branch. And I would start focusing your energy. Because all of these other channels too, about fighting tyranny and getting you the truth. Again, when you understand the big picture, it's all nonsense. They're here to get clicks, they're here to make money. And I'm here to take up your time. So, there is a way to move forward. I'm certainly not going to be saying it because I'm just not. People have to figure out their own path. But I've been working at it. So that's it, man. Be well. Don't let these people steal your energy and distract you, because you got to understand the hierarchy and how deep this goes. And any talking about presidents or Gates or all this stuff, it's, for the most part, well, I mean, not for the most part, it is just complete rubbish. Be well.